Take a quick look at this website. Literally 3 lines of text, a cinematic background, and a link to contact the team. A high school project at most. The reason for this is simple. This is a company with no customers, almost no team besides its founders, and no product. Not one single product. And the reason for all of this? The company didn't exist 1 month ago. It's just 4 weeks old. And why am I talking about such a pointless topic? Because this company has been valued at a staggering $260 million after raising $113 million to try and build a vision that, if achieved, will be one of the greatest successes in the history of open-source AI. Why? Because it's promising the best open-source generative AI models for a future where power and profits aren't secured by the same bunch of trillion-dollar companies. But is this the most absurd valuation in the history of capitalism? Or is a promise really worth $260 million when made by the right people? Let's find out. To truly grasp whether we're witnessing the dawn of the greatest financial bubble since the tulip mania of 18th century Holland, or perhaps the investment opportunity of the century, we must delve deep into the world of AI. In the realm of AI, there's an undeniable truth. To be a contender, you need deep pockets. Especially if your ambition is to craft generative models that stand toe-to-toe with titans like GPT-4 or Claude. The financial commitment for just the training phase is astronomical. Take, for instance, Meta's Llama's 65 billion model, which consumed a whopping $5 million in a mere 21 days of training. In layman's terms, models like GPT-4 or Llama are nurtured by feeding them vast amounts of internet text and instructing them to predict the subsequent word. This method enables the model to grasp the distribution of the training data, essentially memorizing nearly everything it encounters. At this juncture, these models absorb both the commendable and the reprehensible. They can inadvertently adopt racist or homophobic tendencies. Clearly, in this raw state, they're unfit for widespread use. The solution? A 2-pronged alignment process. They're trained with a meticulously curated dataset of user instructions and outputs. They undergo a human feedback loop, termed reinforcement learning from human feedback. Here, a reward model refines the AI, teaching it the optimal response to prompts and filtering out inappropriate content. Only after this rigorous process do we get the chatbots we're familiar with. But let's talk expenses. Consider the costs of curating datasets, months of GPU usage, and hefty paychecks for elite engineers in the final stages. The financial tally? Astronomical. Yet this is merely the prelude. The financial drain is only beginning. Inferencing your way to bankruptcy. For every output, a vast network of neurons must be activated. For every single word. And while innovations like Megabyte hint at alternative architectures that might reduce costs, this isn't the norm yet. Running these models without caution, you're looking at monthly bills in the millions. I'm certain you're wondering how a fledgling company, barely a month old, boasts a valuation of $250 million. Remember the Powerpuff Girls, created by Professor Utonium's blend of sugar, spice, and everything nice, with an accidental splash of chemical X. This valuation mystery might have its own chemical X, a factor positioning a non-US country as an AI powerhouse. The exorbitant spending might hint at the valuation, but it's naive to think that's the sole reason. The AI hype is undeniable. Investors are eagerly throwing money at AI startups, anticipating substantial returns. Mistral AI's staggering funding might be a testament to this AI frenzy. But what makes Mistral special? Only a few in the world. Mistral AI's founders are distinguished researchers from tech behemoths like Meta and DeepMind. An investor claimed these founders are among the world's elite 100 capable of crafting these models. Their expertise and experience are invaluable. But is a trio of tech geniuses, a rudimentary website, and no products worth a $100 million gamble? Europe's leading the way. Mistral AI's commitment to public data aligns with Europe's stringent AI regulations, making it an attractive investment. Yet, Mistral's true distinction lies in its mission to solve the open-source conundrum for businesses, democratizing open-source models. Unlike competitors, Mistral AI is a B2B, open-source-centric entity. Their unique approach could revolutionize AI product development. As French as croissants, France's ambition to pioneer in AI is evident. President Emmanuel Macron's emphasis on nurturing AI champions might explain Mistral AI's substantial backing. Is this the worst deal of the century? Mistral AI's rapid ascent is a captivating tale in today's AI narrative. This investment could be a visionary move or a cautionary tale of market bubble risks. Regulatory moats, like those Sam Altman advocates for in Washington, are powerful. Mistral might be pursuing a similar strategy in Europe. To me, Mistral AI seems to be a pivotal player in Europe's AI vision, blending technological innovation with stringent regulation. If they succeed, they could rival giants like OpenAI and lead in a new era of regulatory AI. Will this make investors visionaries or mere dreamers? Only time will unveil the truth.